You've just tuned in to the Byron Cage Show, featuring Super Dave. Stay right here to watch topics that are relevant to today's issues and the opposites, which tackle subject matters from two different perspectives. Celebrity interviews, life-changing information from some of the leading health and medical professionals, and live performances. It's the Byron Cage Show.
Hey everybody, it's Byron Cage Show, hanging out with my main man, Super Dave. You know we come in here every week just to make sure that you're inspired and that you have information that you need that can help you live your very, very best life. I'm so excited about today, man. We've got an amazing artist coming up in the second half of the show, and she's going to be tremendous, and I know you'll enjoy her. But stay right here because, well, we're going to talk about some things that are funny. You're going to laugh today. You're probably going to cry. You're going to have a good time. But one thing that you're going to do, you're going to say, I got to watch the Byron Cage Show. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Come on, lift up the sound of war in this place. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Everybody, come on, come on, come on. Everybody, come on, come on, come on. Brothers, come on, step. What's that? What's that? Say it again. What's that? It's the sound of what? It's the sound of what? It's the sound of Lord, I will fight. Come on, say it. I won't run away. I won't run away. Come on, sing it today. I will go to battle. Listen, I will fight today. Ha, and not only that, I won't turn around. Come on, sing it. I won't turn around. I'm not gonna turn around when war's ahead of me. Sing it. When war's ahead of me. Come on, sing it. I'm a man of war. I'm a man of war. Come on, brother, sing it. I have victory. I have victory. Come on, go from the top and let's break it down. 1, 2, set, it's a sound of war. 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 Lord, I will fight.
I'm in a battle. I ain't got time to be licking my wounds. I've got lives to save. There are children dying. There's generations that are coming up that need to see somebody that's willing to give it all up.
And not only that, I won't turn around. I won't turn around. I'm not gonna turn around when war's ahead of me. When war's ahead of me. Come on, say it. I'm a man of war. Come on, men of war. I've got victory. I have victory. Come on, say that again.
It's time to serve notice to the devil that the kingdom of God suffers violence, but the violence taketh by force, and Jesus is alive and well. Let's go to war.
Yo, here comes the highly decorated MC that was created to keep the unadulterated word of God. Sporting camouflage, the gates won't prevail, so I'ma sabotage as the world applauds the counterfeits in the frauds. I stand with my back with the full armor of God. So Papa, let your kingdom come, your will be done. We represent Christ, the resurrected Son, no comparison. Let the men of war say it today. I've got victory. I have victory. Come on, say it again. I'm a man of war. I got victory. I have victory. Come on, say it again. I'm a man of war. Yes. I'm a man of war. Yes, I am. I've got victory. I have victory. Last time. I'm a man of war.
We have to get men that would be able to step into their warrior position and do what God has ordained to be done.
Okay, y'all, welcome back to the Byron Cage Show. Listen, here we go. Watch this clip, and I'll be right back.
No! No! Please, no! 911, everybody.
Dave, what's up, man? What is wrong with our people? This is one thing that I say about us all the time. We don't have to take the hood everywhere we go. You understand what I'm saying? There's some places where you go, you should just have some common sense. The old saying is to say, when in Rome, do as the Roman do. Don't mean you have to conform to anything, but you just have to understand if there's a certain level, let's take for instance, if a young man wants to have a job at McDonald's, he probably can go, dressed a certain way. But if you go to another company that, is a Fortune 500 company, there's just a certain way that you have to present yourself in a corporate environment that has nothing to do with your neighborhood. And there's something we used to sing called, if you want big paychecks, honey child, let that style rest a while. Let it rest. So that way you can have success and move on to some other things. But that clip in particular, man, I just marvel that our people, and I know this is the opposite, so you probably gonna disagree with me, but I just wish that we understood that when we are in public places, that we just don't have to act like that. I mean, she got mad because they felt like her nails weren't done the proper way, so she didn't want to pay anybody. This woman just spent an hour trying to give you acrylic nails and doing all this kind of stuff for you, physically fighting her. And, people are catching this on camera. It's just like, I mean, what, isn't there any other option? Can't you say, can I talk to the manager? Is the owner of the salon here so I can tell them how I don't like my nails? Because once a person has done their work, if you did your French fries at your restaurant and you cash register and rung it up, at the end of the day, when the payday comes, you want to get your money.
I think it's two sides to that, though. So you talking about customer service.
I disagree. You're
talking about customer service on one side, right? And, we got the right to be upset about customer service, but I hate that term of, that we're getting the acknowledgement of reacting with anger. Everybody reacts with anger.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
I think we are more.
Everybody's a huge statement.
Black people are way more recorded.
Super Dave. That's Super Dave. That's a huge statement.
I got plenty of videos to show
Everybody doesn't act like that because there are black people that don't act like that.
Yes.
We've seen the Karens, of course. We've seen the Karens and the Kens, whatever they call them, and we've seen the ratchets on our side of our people sometimes. But not everybody acts like that in like something that's happening, like even road rage. Somebody come and toot your home and beep at you and upset the man.
People are getting shot. You know who
they're getting killed. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Why not just get out the way, let them go on, wave your hand?
That's a people thing, not a black thing, though.
Well, now that is, but it's specifically okay. Then let's go back to what we were talking about then with the clip that you shared with us.
Well, about the nail situation, she's trying to get something done to her body that she wants a certain way. Like she wants something in particular. Now, I think, we're missing a lot of context too with videos too, because I see it myself a lot of times that it's just the argument back. It's like if I ask you for a service, you're supposed to give me a service. I don't want to hear your attitude. And if I'm complaining about the service, I expect you to be nothing but accommodating. And if I act a certain way based on that, well, let me reverse a little bit. You're right, because it shouldn't be over the top.
Right, and that video that you showed us was over the top.
But I don't need you meeting me with aggression when I'm just trying to get my service right.
Yeah, but we also walk in there. Be honest, man. I'll never forget one of the times I went into one of the places to get a pedicure, and I sat down, and the lady, they had never seen me. First time I'd been in there, and she looked at my feet, and she said, she spoke in her language.
What's your name?
She said, and so the lady came over, and they both looked at my feet and started laughing. I said, are y'all laughing? Y'all talking about my feet? And the lady said, oh, no. We're not talking
absolutely.
You were absolutely talking about my feet because I do got busted feet, though. My feet are busted.
Your feet bad, bro?
My feet are bad.
Dang, bro. That's
but I was like this.
They were talking bad about you.
Bro, my feet were curling up. I was ashamed and everything. I left out of there like I've been bullied.
Oprah had an episode that had something similar like that where she had people that spoke the language and they followed behind them.
Oh.
And they were talking pretty bad about these girls.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Man, it's a couple situations I've been in personally where I knew that I was like the focus in the room. Just being, a black male, tall male, I'm always kind of dressed down, athletic style. You know how I do.
I'm going to switch you up for season 2, though.
Hey, man,
we'll switch you up for season 2.
Now.
We'll bring you up here in a leprechaun
but
suit or something, you know what I'm saying?
I'm very big on people being themselves. Like, be yourself all the time, in any moment, instance. Like, Google is a perfect example. Have you ever seen Google's facility?
Who's?
Google, like their working facility.
Oh, yeah.
They look like they just chilling at the park, relaxing, having a great day. I would love to work there, by the way, if y'all looking for somebody.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. But, so customer service for me is just one of those things where it's like, I'm on the customer side always. Because if it gets to a point of that type of situation,
I'm not on the customer side
it's
always.
the business.
I'm not. Let me tell you why I'm not. And I'm going to bring in one of my pet peeves of all time. If you go into a 5-star steakhouse and you decide I'm going to go get a steak and the baked potato and asparagus on the side with the hollandaise sauce and whatever beverage I choose to have with my meal, this, that, the other thing, you are in a 5-star restaurant. If your bill is $120, people, you can't leave $5 and think that you've done something. You just can't. Go to McDonald's. You don't have to tip there. Or take a steak and cook it at your house and tip yourself. But I just see so many of our people, go to restaurants, and I'm sure a lot of servers are applauding me right now, where they go into the restaurant and they sit there and eat all this food and they drink all their drinks, and then they get up and the bill is $230 and they leave $10.
Now I don't like that, so I have to meet you there. But if the service is terrible, do you still tip accordingly?
Absolutely.
You tip regardless?
At least 15%. Unless you've done something to me like slow service, could have been some other things. Somebody not being attentive to be. Now, somebody being downright rude.
Yes.
No, that's when I say to the server, hey, sweetheart, when you get a chance, let me just speak to the manager a second. And then all of a sudden, her mindset is like, okay, he must be mad. And I say to the manager, I'm sure there must be a logical explanation why the training did not kick in for your worker today.
I've been a server before, by the way.
Yeah, so you know.
So I worked at Outback for a little while actually. And being on that side of the fence, I have a bigger respect for people who do customer service and serving, because I've done customer service in different ways too, with telecommunications and things like that. So I get it. And being a server, it is tough because you're dealing with a lot of personalities like that. Like, you never know what type of day somebody's having. You never know what type of attitude you're going to encounter. Then let's just say you're having a bad morning, which you're allowed to have. You're humans. I think we be forgetting too about that part of the day. It's like, man, you don't know what they're going through. Like, I had a server one time break out in tears at my table because we were just being overly nice to him. And that's something I try to do too that I tell people they should try. I try to be overly nice to bad customer service, or when somebody has an attitude, I try to just overcome. Excuse me, a little a-hole-ish. But I try to.
He's sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive him, Lord.
I try to overcome it with just niceness over and over again. So he was kind of, you could tell he was down. You know what I'm saying? And his service was slacking because he was down. He wasn't being as attentive. He wasn't being like, I don't think you should have to conform to the customer, but at least be social. He wasn't being social. He was being very offish. So, we just kept poking at him. And, we even left him a nice tip regardless because he was trying. And he just broke down in tears and told us, man, I'm going through this. I'm about to get kicked out of school. I just lost my car. Like, the brother, once I heard his list, I was, I don't even know how you working today.
Folks, we just edited that out. But anyway, but now, okay, if you think that was bad, though, y'all watch this last clip, and I promise you, we're going to be done with these clips tonight. But this is what I'm talking about. When you're in a restaurant, you can never be an employee and do this. Now, what do you think about that? Do you think it's appropriate for an all-out brawl to happen in a restaurant between a server, a manager, and a customer? Isn't there anything else that we can do that leads not to violence, that won't lead to violence, like call 911, try to get somebody to a place where somebody's got to have a level head. Somebody has to have the level head. And I know the lady was completely wrong, but for that gentleman to get up and slam her like that, even we're calling, you said this in one of the other episodes, she called him the N-word and she said she was going to slap him. And you say, slap me. I want you to slap me. This is not the street. You are not on the street right now. You are representing a company. Now, a fast food restaurant, though it may be, come on, help me.
It happens a lot.
Those are your.
It happens a lot at the fast food restaurant. But I mean, they're not making much to care. Like, you at a fast food restaurant, and it's only.
And see, my generation is different. We're the total opposite. Boy, my first job I had was a paper boy. And then after being
you
a
talking
paper
about
boy,
this new school,
I was a
man.
bus boy.
Man, you talking about this new school, man. These
Man,
boys, they got so
they need whoopings. That's what they need. These kids, y'all, the reason why y'all act like this because y'all ain't get no spankings. Y'all got timeouts and went to your room where you had a computer, a laptop, an iPhone, and an iPad mini. You're still entertaining yourself. Am I right or am I wrong? We had to go outside after we got a whooping with something called a switch or a belt. This segment, man, we have a wonderful, wonderful guest coming up next. She's an icon. She's going to be a tremendous, tremendous interview that I know that you are talking about. Dawn Lewis. So keep it right here on the Byron.
What's poppin'? These are 5 things you need to hear today. Let's go. Number 1, important people come and go. That's okay. Number 2, you can look at it as rejection or you can look at it as redirection. Number 3, you define what fun is. Don't allow someone to make you feel like what you like is stupid. Number 4, sometimes you're gonna have to let other people down to make yourself happy. Number 5, your diet isn't just what you eat. Your diet is what you watch, listen to, and allow around you. Choose accordingly.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Byron Cage Show. Listen, I am super hyped. I'm so excited. Well, I feel like a kid in the candy store. My next guest right now is an amazing, accomplished actress, musician, writer, singer. I mean, she has it all. Some people have the gift to be able to act. Some people have the gift to be able to sing and to create, but she produces. She does everything. I'm talking about the infamous, the icon. We know her as Dawn Lewis. Dr. Dawn Lewis is a multi-talented and multifaceted individual. She's president and CEO of Morning Jewel Incorporation, a multi-platform production company in the areas of film, television, animation, music publishing, and experiential events. She is also the founder and the CEO of A New Day Foundation, a nonprofit 501c organization that provides financial and programmatic support to underprivileged youth and grassroots community-based nonprofit organizations. In 2019, Dawn received an honorary doctorate in the humanities for her more than 40 years of unwavering service and support to the underserved youth communities across the country and abroad. She is, listen to this, a Trumpet Award, Grammy Award winning singer, multiple NAACP Image Award winner, BMI and ASCAP Award winning songwriter, film, television producer, and stage actor, a series TV creator, producer, now man alive, an inductee into the Women Songwriters Hall of Fame, of which I was able to give her that award in 2021. Dawn co-stars in the new Netflix animated series called A Karma's World, as well as voicing several characters in the Fox series Housebroken and the newly released feature film Sing 2. Listen, I can go on and on, but I want to bring my sister right now. Dawn Lewis is in the house.
Yay. Wow, what an introduction. I'm sitting thinking, wow, I want to speak to her. She sounds cool.
And exactly, and I only got half of the bio out. There was still a lot that I did not say. But listen, man, we are so delighted to have you. You are, first of all, you're such a class act, and you always have been. And we've known each other for decades and decades. Mm-hmm. And I've watched you, from the very beginning of your career, and some of the things that you were doing for A Different World and some other things. And most people didn't even know that you wrote that theme. You wrote the theme song, and you can. For several shows, but that one in particular is one of the most popular ones because Aretha Franklin was singing on that.
You can't forget Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Come
on. No, you can't forget Hanging with Mr. Cooper. But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Dawn is an incredible writer, and I mean can sing. There's some people that can sing.
You did One Tree Hill?
I did. I was on One Tree Hill as well. Yes, sir.
Yes. So she's just Dawn. Just talk to us. It's just so good to see.
First of all, I don't want to be rude. I want to say hi to Super Dave. Super Dave, how are you doing?
I appreciate it. Good. Thank you. How you doing today?
I am fantastic.
Super excited to be talking to you. Icon, definitely a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It means a lot.
I appreciate you. You did great work, and you're a great example for our youth out here.
Absolutely. And Dawn, you've done stuff. I mean, we were just talking a few minutes ago, just even of how you entered into the business, and you were sitting in the audience watching an episode live of The Cosby Show. And just did you ever think that you would have the opportunities, to be able to propel into such a superstardom of especially things that were important to our culture first about having higher education. You all were teaching a young generation, because I was at Morehouse when you were on the show. I was a student at a HBCU. And did you ever think that, when you first started out sitting in the audience, that, man, one day I'm going to be behind that camera and I'm going to be doing something great? That would be
To
an
be
example.
honest with you, TV was the one thing I was not pursuing. I was convinced I was going to be a recording artist. I was going to be singing and dancing on Broadway. That was my focus. Maybe doing movies. That was my goal. That was what I was striving for. I started singing at 4. I started dancing at 7. Started acting at 11. I wrote short stories and poetry. I was published by the time I was 15. I went to New York's High School of Music and Art, majoring in voice. I sang opera and played cello for years. So that was what I was going to do. When I went to see the taping of The Cosby Show, I think that was 1984. And I was, again, focused on being a recording artist. And actually that year, it might have been 83, I auditioned to replace Jody Watley in Shalimar. Wow. That was how I met Howard Hewitt. They were having this nationwide talent search to replace Jody Watley. So if you look up whatever year that was, that's when I met Howard and Mickey Free. And I was the winner for New York. I was an office temp in the World Trade Center, just graduated from college, and heard it on the radio. They were having these auditions. So I grabbed my little cassette of a song I had just written in the studio. I had the backing track, and I was going to perform live, and I was determined. I called my job and said, y'all are going to have to find a temp for the temp, because I'm going to go audition to be a Shalimar. So I auditioned. I won for New York. They flew all the winners from the major states out to California. We had the final competition. They said they were going to start a new girl group with myself and 2 other young ladies, and that Delisa Davies, that was in the group Climax, was going to be transferred over as the new lead singer for Shalimar. So that happened, and then the girl group never happened. That was just a publicity stunt, apparently. So a few months later, I went and saw the Cosby taping. Got to be introduced to Mr. Cosby, didn't have a real exchange with him, just hello, nice to meet you. But the musical director was there. I got introduced to him, and like any good person on their hustle, on their grind, I had a cassette of my singing and my demo tape in my purse. So I pulled it out and went, bam, I would love to work with you. If you ever need a singer, if you need anything, please just give me a call. So then I went on the road. I was doing the national tour of the Broadway show, The Tap Dance Kid, with the young man who is now an amazing actor in his own right, Mr. Dule Hill. He was our kid. So I've known Dule since he was 10. That's like my little brother. So I came off the road, and the people who produced The Cosby Show also produced The Tap Dance Kid. Well, the casting company, I should say, sorry. So when I heard they were doing a spinoff, I thought, well, maybe I could get a job, and now the Broadway show is about to be over. Let me go and see if I can get a job. And the casting director said, nope, we want people Lisa Bonet's age. I said, I'm only 2 years older than Lisa, and everybody can't be a freshman. Someone has to be a sophomore. So after begging for about 3 months of them telling me no, they finally called me back and said, if you're still interested, we'd love for you to come in and audition tomorrow. This was on a Wednesday. I said, yeah, sure. An hour after they called me, the musical director for The Cosby Show, who had now had my cassette for more than a year, called me back and said, are you the same person that wrote these songs that's on this tape? I said, yes, I am. He said, well, I'm working on the new Cosby series. Would you be interested in working with me on the theme song for this show? This is what it's going to be about. Lisa goes to college. I was thinking to myself, I know exactly what this is about, and I can't believe you're calling me right now. So to be honest with you, I thought it was my friends calling me to play a joke on me, because they knew I didn't have a job. I was about to get my last unemployment check, and they thought that that was funny. So no, I called the casting director back, and I said, did you just call me? They said, yes. Is there a problem? I said, no, I will be there tomorrow. And then the musical director sent by messenger a cassette of the backing music that they had in mind at the time, and said, I will see you in the studio on Friday and hear what you come up with. I said, well, don't you want to meet first? You know, he says, no. If you're the same woman that is singing and that wrote these songs, I think you can do exactly what I need done. So I went and auditioned on Thursday. They said, thank you for coming in. And I left. I went and I met with an attorney right after that audition and said, I need your help. I have this opportunity, but I want to do it right and I want to do it well. And I don't have any money to pay you. So if you have an assistant or someone I can speak to, I'd really appreciate it. And they said, you know what, we're impressed that you have this opportunity and you're handling it the way that you are. We will do this for you free of charge. We will not charge you a penny. All we ask, yeah. All
Well,
we
now,
ask
isn't
is
it
that you
amazing how
pay it
no,
forward.
yeah, and no
Ah, it's
really,
amazing.
yeah, no is the beginning of the real conversation, you know,
Yes.
for someone who understands who you are and the strength to be able to wait even a year until somebody called you, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you had a regular job,
Determination, yeah.
that determination, that fighting
Yeah.
spirit. Where did you get that fighting spirit to say that I'm not giving up? You
Grace
just
of God and my mama.
Yeah.
My mother and my grandmother. My mom, single mom since I was 6 years old. My mom, which is going to be a part of the story that I know we're going to get to, in doing Tina Turner on Broadway, playing Tina's mom. It was personal to me because Tina's mother abandoned her when she was very small because she was in a home being abused. So in order to save her life, she ended up leaving her child, which created a domino effect of abandonment issues and domestic violence issues that Miss Turner herself ended up experiencing in her adult life. But knowing what that was like from my mother and her spirit of courage and the grace of God and how she manifested God and our love for him and our seeking him and our trusting him in our lives, even as kids and to this day, is why I am where I am. Because after I had that meeting with the attorney and I sat in his office and I cried at the grace and at the generosity that these people were offering me, I'd never heard that term, pay it forward, before. And so I learned something in my spirit that this is not just about all that comes to me, but God is putting an opportunity in my life for things to come through me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I also
So the
feel
next
same way.
day, I'm in the studio, I'm singing, I'm recording. I get a call, I have a call back, I'm auditioning, flying back and forth to California. So now it's Mr. Cosby has the final word. I'm in his dressing room, myself and Tom and Carsey Warner from Carsey Warner and the casting directors. And they're like, okay, Bill, before you speak to Dawn, what did you think of the song? And Bill is sitting there, man, the song is great. Oh, it's just perfect. And the girl's voice is amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. So I'm sitting there and I say, thank you. And like, thank you for what? I said, well, I'm the girl. I'm who you're talking about. So until that moment, they had no idea that I was the
She was
same person that they were talking about, that wrote the theme song, that they are now considering for the co-lead role of the show. And if that's not God, I don't know what is. And that just
Absolutely.
changed my whole life. It changed my trajectory for the rest of my life. It opened doors that I didn't even know existed, much less were available to me.
Wow. Wow.
So being a Black woman in the industry as long as you have and seeing the things that you've seen, I know you probably had your woes, you know, with your career. So
Yeah.
how did you push through those type of things? You know, because if some young Black actress is watching now, or some young girl who wants to pursue her career, but she keeps running into, you know, those walls, those certain type of men, you know what I'm speaking on, and things like
Yes.
that. How did you push those type of situations? Because you accomplished a lot in the industry, and you know they try to stop, especially a Black woman. You know how it goes, from accomplishing so much. So what just kept you pushing past the barriers?
Uh,
And how did you address those type of men?
Well, the face, you know, it wasn't easy because when I was coming up as a recording artist, I was an athlete, I was a dancer. So, you know, you have a certain physique.
Shape. Yes,
You have a
ma'am.
certain physique. So I would walk into people's offices for meetings at different record labels and publishing deals. And they would be so impressed with my abilities and so impressed with my talent. But then there always came, you know, the push-up. And you know, somebody trying to touch you or somebody trying to intimidate you into a scenario that has absolutely nothing to do with your talent.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I ended up doing was I ended up subconsciously changing my body so that people would focus on my talent instead of the way that I looked. And one day I turned around, and I'm not kidding. I turned around and I was about to say something to whoever was standing behind me. It's like, you know, you standing way too close. You need to back up. And I realized I was next to a mirror and it was just me.
Wow.
I had gained weight to a point where I wasn't obese or anything, but I wasn't me. And I said, there's got to be a different way
You
to
shouldn't have to do
this.
that.
I shouldn't have to do this.
No, not at all.
So slowly but surely, you know, I focused more on my dance and my athletics, and I worked my body back into shape and was determined that, you know what, this is either going to happen the way I'm okay with it happening in my life, or it's just not going to happen. And then that's when the TV series presented itself. And so coming through that, they had me play the older person in the cast. And I was actually younger than 2/3 of the cast. I was just taller than everybody. So now I'm not in the music industry anymore. Now I'm in film and television, and I'm trying to pursue a recording contract. Now that I'm on this hit TV series, I should be able to get a record deal. And the first thing they say is like, oh, but you're an actress. Oh, you want to sing now? Okay, well, actresses don't sell records. It's like, yeah, but I'm a musician.
They try to limit you.
Time before I became a TV personality. Right. So, and even when they realized I was the same person in a different world, all of a sudden I was no longer allowed to sing the theme song because that was too much attention on me. And even though I had a contract, they didn't even want to give me screen credit again, because there are people who need a sense of control and a sense of superiority. And when they see you coming, they do what they can to try to put blocks in your way. But gratefully so, I had these amazing attorneys, Bill Feynman and Andy Krasilovsky, who had already negotiated that I get screen credit for writing the theme song. So that first pilot episode where they left my name off, they were forced to put my name back on for the future episodes. And so I was no longer singing the song. So they brought in Al Green to sing it. And so I'm in the studio. This is how I met Al. I'm in the studio teaching him. No, Al. It goes like this.
Right.
So it's me, Lynn Fidmont, and Rochelle Farrell singing backgrounds behind Al Green. That was how I met Shelley and Lynn. Then once we shot the pilot and they decided, no, we need to have a female voice, that was when they brought Phoebe Snow in. Wow. And that's where I'm dumping Double Dutch in the opening credits. And the thought was they would re-record it every year. Well, once Aretha did it the next season, that was a wrap.
That was it. Boy, your royalty checks must have been amazing.
You know what?
The God is good all the time. That's what they say. But
Praise God.
What a great story. I'm glad you're just so transparent with sharing with us the struggles of even being in a business that is cutthroat. And if you don't take care of the business side of it, you will be out there and not knowing that you have certain things that should be coming to you, but you don't do your due diligence in understanding the business side. Now, listen, I was so excited to present you with an award last year here in Washington, D.C. for wonderful accomplishments that you did in the industry. And you had Wynonna Judd was there. You had Jacqueline Carr. You had all of these celebrity female artists and singers in their own right. And when Dawn took the stage, let me tell you something what happened, Super Dave. She got up there, but when she started singing, people were in shock. Yeah. And I sat there, I could do nothing but laugh. I was like, no, because this is my sister. Well, this is what she does. And that's why I said at the beginning, she is the absolute real deal because she knows the business side of the music business and also of the entertainment of acting. But then she also has common sense. She's not a diva. She's not going to be up here and push somebody away. Don't talk to me. That's never been her spirit. And I tell people all the time, the same people that you pass by going up are going to be the same people you have to pass by coming back down. And if you don't understand how to have a humble spirit and a humble heart, you're only going to go so far and you'll live off of the laws of what you used to be. And you'll always say that. But when we look at Dawn and what she's doing now, even the Tina Turner thing, and I was coming to see the show because I told her, she said, why are you going to come see the show? Because it's getting ready to end. So I got a train ticket. I bought my ticket to the theater and I was ready. And I said, guess what? We got a 12-inch snowstorm coming. And I said, golly. So I called her. I sent her my ticket, a picture of my ticket. I said, I was coming. I said, but they said the storm is good. And
I remember that day.
The storm came. And I asked her, I said, did they close the show? She said it was packed. And I felt bad, but I knew safety. I couldn't come because I wouldn't be able to get back home because of the snow. So I missed it. But tell me, what was it like being on Broadway playing in that Tina Turner review? Because I heard it was just incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the show is still running. It was my contract that was ending. I opened the original Broadway company in 2019, and then we shut down with the pandemic as everybody else did. And it took us about a year and a half later for the show to reopen. So my time returning back to the show was always going to be limited because I'd already had other things scheduled to do after that point. So I was really hoping you could have come before my contract was up, but all things for a reason. It was amazing. As I mentioned before, I'm a New Yorker, born and bred in Brooklyn. So that was where I cut my teeth, was on the New York stage. And doing Tina again just meant a lot to me, again, for the reasons I already spoke about, in honor of my mother and her journey, and how she not only survived, but thrived and was able to raise 4 children who each in our own right, myself and my 3 brothers, who also thrived. But to be a part of the original Broadway company telling such an important story, Tina Turner is a living icon. And it is an honor to celebrate her and celebrate her music and what she, and the message of survival and sense of self. You know, Super Dave, back to your other question about how do you endure, how do you persevere, is that you do your best to surround yourself with positivity, with people of a like spirit, who are determined to be excellent, who are determined to work in and through integrity. And invariably in this industry, what that means is that some opportunities are not going to come to you because you're not the quote unquote schemer. You're not the wheeler dealer. And it's really easy to be envious of somebody else's journey that you think is being more successful than yours. But at the same time, you know what doing things the way you have chosen to do costs you. You don't know what it costs that other person to be where they are. You don't know what they had to sell of themselves. You don't know what they had to compromise on. You don't know what they had to struggle through. So I learned to be grateful wherever I am, knowing that it can only get better. Yes, there will be trouble. Yes, there will be obstacles. Yes, there will be, stalls. Yes, there will be times where you feel like, am I ever going to work again? Because that's the reality of this industry. And Byron, what you said is something that I say whenever I lead workshops, is that the word business is literally and figuratively twice as long as the word show for a reason. So if you get caught up in the show, in the glitz and the glamour, and don't handle your business, not only are you going to be frustrated, but you're going to be run over and you're going to be used up before you know it.
Yep. And what God has for you really is for you. That's why for that contract on Broadway, for the Tina Turner story to end, you go home and literally I call you, you say, just a few days later, I'm gonna take a break and we'll talk. And you say, guess what? I got a call to do Grey's Anatomy. Come on. That's how God does it. Opens up the door. We think that this thing, is this it? It's never it. I'll be 60 in December. And I look at how my career has happened in ministry of traveling around the world. And God has always been faithful, I think, because of something that you said. When you are strong enough to understand that your gift is yours, nobody can beat Dawn being Dawn, nobody can beat Dave being Dave, and nobody can beat me being me. If we can just uniquely use the things that we have been given to subdue something in the earth to inspire people, I believe that's why we're here.
Yeah, I believe that's why we're here. I believe that's why I'm here. And I know that's why a lot of people are in positions like she's in, but the major media, we don't highlight women like her. She definitely should be somebody that you shouldn't be surprised to hear her singing. But the goal is to get people to see more, understand more, get to know that there's people like us out here and know the type of person that you are. You're a good man in the way that you see other people and accept people who they are. It's very important. And her genuine attitude, it's hard to find people like that. I always tell people it's an 80-20 rule for me in this world. I feel like 20% of the people I meet are going to be decent. 80 other percent going to be BS, period, across the board. So, you just try to go with that. I do want to redirect and say, I love those earrings you have on, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Where are those from?
An artist in the Bay Area made these for me, I gotta say, almost 30 years ago.
Okay, you look amazing too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Gotta tell them that black.
That's
don't
25.
crack.
That's 25. That's how 25 looks.
Are you a vegan? How you stay so ageless? Like,
Am I a vegan? Absolutely not.
are
You know what?
drinking almond milk or something?
Grace of God, I do drink almond milk now. My brother turned me onto an almond milk, but no, okay. When I tell people what my actual regimen is, it kind of pisses folks off. I am a Captain Crunch, great grains. On the one hand, I eat healthy. On the other hand, I like White Castle.
I'm the same way.
Guilty.
And I'm not the heaviest dude either. My friends always get on me.
I hate him, Dawn.
I mean, I'm 6'8", bro.
He's 6'8". I'm 5'11". He's like 220 lean. I'm like 245.
I eat everything in the building.
He eats
Man,
everything in the building.
I can't claim that. I cannot claim that. I'd struggle. It's a constant struggle to
But
try
I fast
to
too,
stay
though.
fit. Huh?
I fast too, though. Like I take.
See, I don't do that. I don't do that, and I'm actually allergic to exercise. Yeah.
Wait, you don't even exercise? And you still look?
No. I was a dancer most of my life, and I ran track and did martial arts. That was where I got my fitness. So now that I don't dance as much anymore, it's changing. And hey, videotape and photos.
Absolutely.
That's what I
What's that award behind you, by the way, if you don't mind me
This
asking?
award is the one that Byron just referenced. This is my award for Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame. This is what Byron presented to me last June.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I was so proud. I was so proud of her because she's just not, just this fluff. She's not just fluff.
Right.
She's not hair and when she gets up there, she's the real deal. And that's why I'm so glad, Dawn, you came on. So, Dawn, what are you doing today now? What's happening today?
Well, now that I'm no longer doing Tina on Broadway, I am still in Karma's World as Ms. Washington on Netflix. Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks on Paramount Plus, and I just got nominated for 3 Image Awards, and I won one of them.
Come on now, come on.
Lower Decks is Captain Carol Freeman, and still doing voices for The Simpsons and writing music for an upcoming project as well. So I'm just very, very grateful and very blessed, as well as doing work with my foundation, the A New Day Foundation. We have our first program for our teen girls, Sisters Hangout, coming up in April, and our annual conference in June on the campus of USC, where we give out scholarships of $2,000 to at least 8 deserving students, as well as brand new computers. So life moves on. I am so grateful to be blessed and continue to have the opportunities to be a blessing. So for more information about the New Day Foundation, please check us out online, www.anewdayfoundation.net, and feel free to give, because whatever you give allows us to continue to present our programs and services completely free of charge to all of our participants. So thank you again.
That's awesome. I'm gonna give $5,000 to it.
See?
So, yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely. That's amazing things that you're doing because you're planning for it. You're continuing to reach forward to help other people and not just be like this. So many people in our industry are like this. But when you're like this, you can receive and you can give. So thank you so much again, Dawn, for being on the Byron Cage Show. We appreciate you and wish nothing but success, and what's to come is still going to be better than what's been. I love you.
Love you too. Bye, Dave.
Bye. Pleasure.
Well, y'all, didn't I tell you we're going to have a great time on the Byron Cage Show today, featuring my man, Super Dave. Dawn Lewis is going to take us out of here, y'all. You're not going to believe this. But we'll see you next Thursday night at 9 p.m. again, right here on the Byron Cage Show. Have a good night.
All right, we're going to have a little fun. Here we go. Dream of a land my soul is from. Now I hear a hand beat on a drum. Shades of delight, cocoa hue, rich as a night, afro elegant boy, beautiful girl, dancing for joy, delicate world, shade of delight, cocoa hue, rich as a night, afro blue. Two young lovers are face to face with undulating grace. They gently sway then slip away to some secluded place. Ooh, shades of delight, cocoa, cocoa, cocoa hue, rich as the night, afro blue. She can't get down, she can't get down, 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 down. Can't get down, 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 do up and down, da 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 da, do ya da da da, shut down, da ya da 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 da. Whispering trees, echo, 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 echo their sighs. Passionate pleas, tender replies, shades of delight, cocoa hue. They are rich, rich, rich as the night, afro blue. Lovers take flight, upward they glide, then they burst ever high and slowly. So shades of delight, cocoa hue, they're rich as the night, afro blue. Then my slumbering fantasy becomes reality, until it seems it's not a dream. The two of you and me, the two of you and me, the two of you, the two of you, the two of you, the two of you, and me. Oh, that shade of delight, cocoa hue. They are rich as a night, afro blue, afro blue, afro blue, afro blue, afro blue, afro. Afro blue.
Mr. Will Phillips. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was fun.